My name is Letitia Nixon. I'm Jamel Moore's mom. I'm calling out the West Hollywood Sheriff's Department to please launch a thorough investigation into the supposed accidental death of my son. I'm wondering why wasn't Ed Buck held accountable for the California Drug Dealer Liability Act? You know, I would like exposure onto the underground of this meth epidemic that's going on in West Hollywood. You know, I'm calling on the leaders. I'm calling on anybody who would listen. You know, it seems like everyone's turning a blind eye because my son was a gay black man. You know, and Ed Buck is a wealthy white politician who has, you know, contributed a lot of money to the different campaigns and different funds. You know, I need some light shedded on this, and I'm asking for the West Hollywood Sheriff's Department to launch a thorough investigation. Thanks.
Ruled an accidental meth overdose, but LA County homicide detectives are launching a probe, citing new concerns. I got no response when I called Buck's apartment, but the building manager provided me with images showing the moments deputies arrived to his residence after Moore's death. Buck can be seen in the white shirt. The manager tells me video captured another young man trying to come up to Buck's apartment while deputies were still there. He says those deputies had to tell the man to go away. A short time later, Moore's body is removed from Buck's apartment.
Questions raised about the death of a young man in West Hollywood. The Sheriff's Department now says it's taking a second look at the case. CBS 2's Christy Fajardo is live in West Hollywood with what deputies are now saying. Christy.
Well, Pat, they are saying they have no reason to believe a crime was committed in this building on Laurel Avenue. They reopened the case, in their own words, out of an abundance of caution. Moore's mother has been quoted as saying her son had fallen on hard times, was working as an escort, and was also homeless. To be clear, no one has been charged in the case. The Sheriff's Department is asking anyone with information to give them a call.
We're all concerned because, you know, as I've been telling people, only a white man could have a dead black body in his house and explain it away to the police, have them say, okay, nothing to see here, pack it up, let's take the body and move along. But what happened is that pages from his journal were published in which he talked about how Ed Buck was injecting him against his will with crystal meth, how Ed Buck was forcing him to do crystal meth. And then what else happened is other young black gay men, numerous young black gay men started coming forward saying, Ed Buck did this to me. He injected me against my permission with crystal meth. He picked me up off the streets. He found me on a website. And so what we have is stories of a white gay man in West Hollywood with a Tuskegee-like, you know, a Tuskegee experiment-like fetish who only likes vulnerable young black gay men. These are the only men that he picks up. He pays them anywhere from hundreds to thousands of dollars to smoke crystal meth and to hang out with him. And we're happy, you know, people are happy finally that homicide detectives have decided to take a closer look, but it's a month later, right? And so a lot of evidence is gone. This man has had a lot of time to clean up his apartment and get rid of a lot of things, but we're very grateful that these young men have started coming forward and with their pictures, with their receipts, right? They've got pictures, they've got videos, they've got text messages from this man. So they're the real deal. And so right now in Los Los Angeles. They're currently in the middle of this homicide investigation, and we're going to see what comes out of it. But, you know, what has bothered the family and what has bothered his friends and other people locally is that no one from the Democratic establishment in California or Los Angeles has had really too much to say about this. As a matter of fact, he's given almost $500,000 to various Democratic causes, candidates and office holders. Congresswoman Karen Bass was the first and the only person who received a campaign contribution from Ed Buck and returned the entire amount back to his family. And folks are hailing her, as they should be, and thanking her for standing up and taking that step. But, you know, our Democratic Party leadership, nothing. Our local leadership, nothing. Our local leadership. So we have, okay, so first of all, they like to be called escorts, okay? The more provocative websites use the word prostitute and sex worker, but they refer to themselves as escorts, okay? And some of them, you know, at the time were homeless. Some of them weren't homeless. Like I said, he was meeting them on the streets. He was meeting them online. One young man that I interviewed, he talked to me about how Ed Buck took him to Skid Row to pick up other black men. Okay? He preys only on African American men. And you're exactly right. He preys on the most vulnerable because he knows that respectability politics are going to kick in. No one's going to believe them. No one's, you know, I'm Ed Buck. I'm a top donor to the mayor. I'm a top donor to the Democratic Party. You know, you can't go against me. But luckily, these young men are coming out of the shadows, as I say, because again, it hasn't been easy for them either, right? Because they're not proud of their what they do or what they've done with Ed Buck. But this young man died, and they've all said to me, that could have been me. I was there. That could have been me. And they all have the same pictures with the same couch, the same mirrors, the same everything. They have videos, so they're not lying. And so right now what's happening is a civil rights attorney by the name of Nana Jumphy here in Los Angeles was able to get immunity for these young men to go into the police department and to tell their stories without themselves, you know, getting caught up in the criminal justice system, because they are black men, right? And they would be going in there admitting to crimes that they've also committed, in, you know, with Ed Buck in terms of drug possession, drug use, etc. And so now they're starting to do those interviews. So the real investigation is getting ready to start now that immunity has been granted to this first round of victims and witnesses. And as the story grows, we hope more folks will come forward. But what the family and friends really, really want also here in Los Angeles and in the state is for the Democratic Party to acknowledge that this is going on. You're screaming about Charlottesville, you're screaming about Black Lives Matter, you're screaming about DACA, but you have nothing to say about this man who is such a prominent member of your party?